Good morning. It's currently, what, like 8:15 on a Friday? Hello. I know I've dropped the ball the past couple of weeks, but I have a valid excuse, and that's because I'm a glorified choir kid. And I had show choir competitions the last 3 weekends. So, also, I tried to film a January reading wrap-up, but it was 50 minutes long, and then I got it down to 30 minutes, and it was still too long, so you'll just get a January reading wrap-up, but, or a February reading wrap-up. But today, our main focus is Black, or not artists, but Black authors, and, books that I think portray Blackness really well, because it's Black History Month. We're gonna see if I can attempt to do this without a sticky note, but the likelihood of that is slim to none. So let's get the big guys out here. There are gonna be some honorable mentions at the end, just because I think that they're good to be mentioned. Okay, I think I only own 3. We're gonna start with this one. Okay, I got this book. It's called Brown Girl Dreaming. I need to move closer. Called Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Wood. And I got it when I was in like 5th grade, 4th grade. And my mom would read it to me every day. It's a poetry book. And it's about a Black girl in the 1960s and 1970s. And I thought it was really cool. I'm glad that my mom read it to me every day while growing up. Next, which should be no surprise to no one, is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. There's like a weird ass glare. I'm so sorry. I read that book right after it came out. And I've read a lot of Angie Thomas's books. By a lot, I mean I've read this one and then On the Come Up. I haven't read Concrete Rose yet, but On the Come Up was really good too. Anyway, though, I read that book when I was in 7th grade, I believe, and it changed my life, low-key. Star, if you don't know about this book, it follows Star after her best friend was shot in a traffic stop by a police officer, and her best friend was Black, and then it was Star, like following Star after that, and like the events that happened after that. I made my friends watch this with me at a birthday party in 7th or 8th grade, and it caused a argument, and I almost went home because of it. And then I made my family watch it in 2020 when everything with George Floyd went down, and I thought that it was really beneficial. I think it's a book that everyone should read. Like, schools should require it to be read, or the movie should be required to be watched, because everything that went down in the summer of 2020 is almost exactly what happened in this book, except for instead of a adult man, it was a 17-year-old kid. But yeah, that book it changed me. Anyway, then we have Nicola Yoon. I read The Sun Is Also a Star in 7th grade, and I fell in love with it. I watched the movie as well. Yara Shahidi, or however you say her last name, is the love of my life. Anyway, Instructions for Dancing is the only one of hers that I own, but she also has a book called Everything, Everything, which is also a movie. All 3 of the girl main characters in all 3 of her books that I've read are all Black women, and I love it. I love it so much. She's also a Black woman, so is Angie Thomas. I have no idea if Jacqueline Woodson is, but I'm gonna go with yes. And I think it's super cool. Just the way that, well, in this one, it's 2 Black people falling in love, and I love that. Instructions for Dancing is so good. I did in fact stop violently over that. Next we have The Wedding Party, or The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. There's a whole series that follows like this group of friends / group of people, and it's like 8 books long. But I read The Wedding Date first, and it follows Drew and Alexa. Alexa's a Black girl. Drew's a white guy. He's hot. He's a doctor, but they meet in an elevator, and then Drew has to go to his ex's wedding, so Alexis's date, and then they fall in love. But there's one specific scene where he takes Alexa to a work party with him, and a guy asks Alexa where she's from, and she's like, I'm from California, and he's like, oh no, like, where are you from? You look so exotic. And first off, if anybody ever came up to me and told me that I looked exotic, I would hit them. Violence is never the answer, but in that case it would be. But the subtle racism that you see, and it's literally nothing that Drew could have stopped either, but it's so good. And then there's A Love-Hate Thing by Whitney D. Granson. I read it in 8th grade. I did a book report on it in 8th grade. And it's, if you've seen the show All American, it's literally the show All American minus the football, because it follows this black boy who was living with his grandpa, and his grandpa did yard work for this family, but then his grandpa passed away. So he ended up moving in with this family, and they took him in as a foster kid, and they live in Hollywood Hills. And so they take this kid in, and he has to acclimate to this whole new lifestyle, all while falling in love with their daughter, who is adopted, and I'm almost positive she's of Chinese descent, but either way. And these are two white parents, so it's very interesting. Okay, I think that's all I have for... No, there was one more book, and it was BRB. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is The Boyfriend Project by Farrah Roshun. I also very well could have said her last name wrong. But it follows this girl who I'm almost positive is black. And if she's not black, I think she's Filipino. I have no idea, but I'm almost positive she's black. And if she's not, it's a person of color. So that's still fucking cool. And Farrah Roshun is black. So, anyway, it follows this girl. I don't remember her name because I read this ages ago, but this girl works at a big tech company, and there's this new guy who she falls in love with, and it's a predominantly white tech company, so it's very interesting to navigate the light racism in the workplace. But shit goes down in that book, and I was like, it's dual point of view, I think, so you know that shit is gonna go down, like, you know it's gonna happen, but the girl doesn't, and it's one of those things where you're like watching the trains collide and you can't do anything to stop it. It was beautiful. Anyway, now moving on to honorable mentions. Lauren Asher. I love this woman with every fiber of my being. I read her book, The Fine Print, last week, and I loved it. Is this from the... Oh well, I'll fix it later. But I loved it. And it's, I mean, so Lauren Asher is a white woman, I think. Okay, so Lauren Asher is a white woman. As you can tell, I did a lot of research on this. Fucking A. I did a lot of research for this before I started. But yeah, Lauren Asher is a white woman, but I read her book, The Fine Print, last week, and her book, Terms and Conditions, comes out next. What day is it today? The 19th? It comes out in 5 days. I'm so excited. I am literally so fucking excited, and I have no money, so let's get this circulating. Let's have everyone watch this on as many devices as they can so that someone starts paying me. Anyway, I've read The Fine Print, and then I'm gonna read Terms and Conditions, and then I've read the first two in the Dirty Air series, and I haven't gotten to the last two. Anyway, her books are a lot more diverse than most white authors are, which is fucking dumb, but whatever. Her third book in the Dirty Air series follows Jax, and he is a black man, and he's a black racer. And the other two racers in the book are both, so the first two books follow white racers, but the girlfriend in the second book is also white, but the girlfriend in the first book is Hispanic or Latino. I don't know. She's not white. And then the fourth book follows the girl from the first book's brother. Anyway, the third book, Jax, is a black man. And then in Terms and Conditions and the fine print, what is her name? I just read this book. Zara. Zara is, I'm almost positive it said that she was Filipino. Either way, Zara is also not white. And in Terms and Conditions, what is her name? Iris is black, and I am so fucking excited. Like, so excited. Yeah. Anyway, next we have Sierra Simone. And in her series, it's the Priest series, like Priest, Sinner, Saint. So I read Priest and Sinner. And in Sinner, Zenny, the love interest, is black. And there's one scene where they're at a party and Zenny gets mistaken for the help while on Sean's arm. And this is a tall white man. I've talked about this book before, but this is a tall white man with blonde hair, blue eyes, with a black woman on his arm. And so after the party, her and Sean have a conversation that's like, I think everyone should be having the conversation, but neither here nor there, I guess. It was just good. And then Sinner, it's Priest, Sinner, and Saint. So Saint follows the third Bell brother, and he is gay, and so it follows Aiden and Sean's best friend and Zenny's brother, who is black. So you get gay and black wrapped in one, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is fucking awesome. Okay, what I think will be my last book for today, no promises, is this book. It's upside down. A Love Letter to Whiskey. The girl main character in this book is in fact black. It follows Jamie and Brex, and I'm actually going to talk about this book because I've been waiting to talk about this book for a hot fucking minute because my January reading wrap up didn't work and I sobbed violently over it. Do you see how many fucking tabs this is? Yeah, it is 367 pages of pure pain. Anyway, it follows Brex and Jamie, and how they meet is Brex and her best friend are going on a jog and they run into Jamie. Like, Brex literally runs into Jamie and she looks up and she's like, holy shit, this man is the love of my life. And he looks over and sees Brex's best friend and goes, holy shit, this girl is the love of my life. So Brex decides that she is gonna just let it be, you know, obviously she wants her friend to be happy, as she should. And so she just kind of lets it go and lets it be, but she pulls away from them. And then Jamie's like, dude, we can also be friends. And then through that, it's like, yeah, maybe we can't be friends. And this is all Brex's junior year, Jamie's senior year. And so shit goes down. They don't talk for a while. Then on graduation night, they talk again. And then shit goes down again. And you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden everyone's in college, and guess who the fuck run into each other? Brex and Jamie run into each other at their college, but Brex has a girlfriend or a boyfriend and Jamie's single. But like, so then they become friends again, but you're sitting there and you're like, you're both in love with each other. What the fuck are you doing? And it's an 11-year relationship. You follow 11 years of these people's lives, and you sit there and you think, why are you doing this to yourself? And why is this happening? But the fact that some people, like, actually, like, right person, wrong time exists is so extremely heartbreaking. Like, I don't know how y'all do it, but I wouldn't be able to. And then another thing that this book is like, literally, I want to infuse this into my brain is because the book, the chapters are like little, whatchamacallums, like barrel aged. There are whiskey references. And so each chapter is named after something kind of weird. Not weird, but like Brex thinks, when she thinks about Jamie, she thinks about whiskey. And so there are a whole bunch of instances where, like, in barrel aged, in that chapter, it's the first time they see each other after a long time, I think. And so she's like, he's like barrel aged whiskey, just getting sweeter with time. And like, there are a whole bunch of little metaphors almost worked into this book that surround whiskey, and it is so beautiful. Just a disclaimer though, I feel as though if you read this book, you need to listen to Rush by Lewis Capaldi featuring Jessie Reyez, For the Lover That I Lost by Sam Smith, on the same album by Sam Smith, Forgive Myself, and then Whiskey Sour by Kane Brown, because I listened to all 4 of these songs religiously while reading this book. And I sobbed violently, and I think that it's good for all of us to sob. So, I think that that's all I have for you. Yes, it is. It is. Anyway, I love these authors, especially the 3 that I talked about in the beginning. I'm pretty sure that their works could be infused into my brain. Yeah, I like to support Black authors because, well, as a Black girl, it's kind of like you gotta stick together as a community. Anyway, happy Black History Month. I don't know what to say to you guys. Don't be racist. It's not cute. It's not cool. We're all human beings, and just because someone has a different skin color doesn't mean that you should treat them differently. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry I haven't posted in ages. You will likely start seeing me more often again because, well, I want money, and talking into the void about books makes me happy. And B, I don't have another competition until March. So, yeah. Okay. Peace out, loves. See y'all next time.